Brothers slapped with several charges following Operation Storm initiative. Two brothers who turned themselves into the St. James Police hours after the division launched its Operation Storm initiative last Wednesday have been charged. They are 20-year-old farmer Austin Reed and 18-year-old Darren Reed, both of Springmount in the parish. They have been charged only with intent, possession of a prohibited weapon, and using a firearm to commit a felony. According to reports from the Montego Bay Police, at about 9:30 p.m. on Monday, July 3, 2023, Austin Deron and three other men reportedly approached a man at a shop in the community. Austin was allegedly armed with a machete, while Deron reportedly had a firearm. The group allegedly accused the complainant of stealing money from their grandmother's home. It is alleged that Deron then shot the complainant. The man managed to escape, but a report was later filed with the police, and the brothers were featured on the Jamaica Constabulary Force Wanted Wednesdays. They subsequently turned themselves into the police in the company of their attorney later the same day. A court date for them is being arranged. Mentally ill man in custody for alleged fatal beating of elderly man in St. Catherine. A man who is said to be mentally ill has been arrested in connection with the death of a senior citizen who was allegedly bludgeoned with a piece of board recently. The deceased has been identified as 86-year-old Vincent Lowen of Polyground District, Kiwerton, St. Catherine. It is reported that about 10:30 a.m. on June 20, Lowen was walking along the roadway in Polyground when he was attacked by the suspect, who was armed with a piece of board. The suspect reportedly hit Lowen all over his body, injuring him. Lowen was assisted to Lindsay Hospital, where he was treated and transferred to the Kingston Public Hospital. Lowen reportedly succumbed to his injuries about 6:30 p.m. on Saturday. Investigations led to the arrest of 38-year-old suspect. Family distressed as U.S. resident goes missing after arriving in Jamaica. A $1 million reward is being offered for information on the whereabouts of United States resident Fabian Hammond, who is a nephew of veteran coroner Beres Hammond, following the disappearance after arriving in the island last week, Saturday. The 63-year-old businessman who resides in Coral Springs, Florida, was reportedly picked up by a friend from the Norman Manor International Airport after arriving at 1:48 p.m. and was transported to his home in Almontown in Kingston, where reportedly he was last seen. Hammond, who is reported missing, is of light brown complexion with brown hair, slim build, and is about 6 feet 3 inches tall. He was reportedly last seen dressed in white shirt, blue pants, and shoes. A distressed cousin, Rashida Brown, who spoke with reporters, said family members are puzzled about his disappearance and are appealing to anyone who might have any information to come forward. "We are confused and torn in our hearts. We are disheartened, and we want answers," she stated. According to Brown, she was informed by the friend in question that when Hammond got to Almontown, her cousin wanted to travel to Glendorf Town, but the friend could not take him at the time. Reportedly, he got upset and said that he was going to call her brother, or his friend in Rumlane for a car. But Brown said he never called me, neither did he call my brother. Further, she said the family is unaware of him having any friends in Rumlane, but has since discovered that he has a son living in that community. She said the last known call that he made was to his partner overseas when he landed. No calls went to reach out to Almontown, no calls to me, no calls to his girlfriend, no call to anyone, she stated. According to her, the police and Hammond's friend, who had left him at the house, went to the house and after knocking the door, saw his suitcase on the bed in a room. At the same time, Brown said she understood that he also had a backpack which was not there, but she is unsure if he had taken it when he left or if it was stolen. "We don't even know if he reached the house because only one person saw him, one person, and my cousin is the type of person who flies in frequently and he not tell nobody when he ma come or when he ma leave except that friend. He is private," she shared. Brown said Hammond's friend handles all his business transactions and is like his business partner and best friend. According to the relative, all kinds of thoughts have been going through their minds. "I feel like somebody kill him. I feel like somebody kill him and take off in that corner. Maybe him a walk, a man jump him down, but I can't understand. How could nobody not see anything? Nobody is talking," she lamented. Brown said she also went to Glencove to check, and persons with whom she spoke said they had not seen him. I don't feel it either. I really don't feel like he did reach up there, and I look up in the sky to see if any Dranko are swam anywhere. There's no Dranko, there's no smell, there's nothing, Brown added. According to her, the police say they are experiencing challenges tracking his phone or credit card because they are from overseas companies. Persons with information can call the Almonton Police at 876-922-2842. PNP calls on Agriculture Minister to address Sopam disease crisis. The opposition People's National Party is calling on Agriculture Minister Floyd Green to address urgently what it says is the escalating Sopam disease crisis that is impacting Jamaica's agricultural sector severely. Last month, the ministry said it was carrying out investigations into certain uncertain conditions affecting yam crops across various regions. In a statement on Sunday, opposition spokesman on agriculture Dr. Dayton Campbell said the Sopam disease crisis poses a serious threat to Jamaica's food security and agricultural economy. He sought answers from Mr. Green about the yam disease. Among these questions is the extent to which the Sopam disease is affecting the sector. Dr. Campbell also wants to know what long-term measures are being taken to address the issue.
Why hasn't a national sensitization program been launched to provide updates on the progress and measures being taken to address the disease, given the lessons learned from Dominica? How much funding has been allocated specifically to tackle the soft yam disease crisis? Have stakeholders in the export sector been consulted and engaged in efforts to address the issue? What steps have been taken to involve input suppliers in finding a solution to the soft yam disease? What investments have been made in local laboratories to enhance their capacity to manage this and other pest and disease outbreaks? Has the Scientific Research Council, the SRC, or any other local universities been engaged in research and response efforts for the soft yam disease? Who is the designated focal point or leader coordinating the efforts to combat the soft yam disease? What is the current assessment of the impact of the disease on soft yam crops nationally? Is it true that projections indicate a potential loss of 60 to 70% of soft yam crops by Christmas?
Coroner's inquest into Mandeville businessman Jason Neal's death adjourned to October 3rd. The coroner's inquest in the death of 33-year-old businessman Jason Neal, whose body was found with gunshot wound to the head on the bathroom floor at his home on December 4, 2018, is to be continued on October 3rd. Several family members, including Neal's widow, have testified before the 7-member jury at the inquest, which began in December 2023 in the Mandeville Coroner's Court in Manchester. Neal's widow, who was pregnant at the time of the incident, had testified that she was at home and heard an explosion. When she went to investigate, she saw Neal on the bathroom floor of their Ingleside residence in Mandeville. He was bleeding and his lance-of-fire arm was beside him, the widow said. Neal was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. On June 6, Detective Sergeant Pat Wallace testified that on December 4, 2018, he received a call and went to the home of the deceased. He observed on the floor in the bathroom a Glock 19 pistol without a magazine. There was a large pool of blood on the floor as well as a magazine with live rounds. He said he also saw a single 9mm spent shell casing on the floor. In giving further evidence, he said he observed the fixtures and measurement of the bathroom. He said he saw a hole in the shower curtain and damage to the wall beyond the shower curtain, which was about 4 feet in height from the floor. A fragment of bullet was also observed on the floor in the bathroom tub, he noted. Sergeant Wallace testified that he came to the belief that the hole in the corner and damage to the wall was by a gunshot. He said he also came to the conclusion that whoever discharged the firearm would either be sitting on the toilet or stooping beside it. He said based on his observations at the scene and other information given to him, he commenced investigation into a case of suspected suicide and enlisted the services of forensic scenes of crime investigators to assist in the investigation. He said he later visited the Mandeville Regional Hospital, where he observed Neal's body, which had a circular burnt mark to the right side of the head, which was an entrance wound. The exit wound was to the left side of the head. He said he was not able to say if the deceased was left-handed or right-handed. The father of the deceased, Bonnie Neal, had testified that he was right-handed. King's Counsel KD Knight is representing the deceased father. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.